Hello everyone, I'm Dee.
And I'm Ree.
So welcome to Career Matters podcast series where all your careers matters. Thank you so much for being with us here today, and thank you to you guys for being with us last month with the first episode, right, Ree?
Yeah, so today is 9 March. Right?
Yes, it's the second episode for the Career Matters podcast
Series.
So
Yeah.
please stay with us and take notes or anything so that you can get a lot of inputs from our podcast.
Yes. So, Dee, so if they want to watch our recorded previous episode and the podcast itself, where should they go?
They should go to our YouTube channel, MMU Malaysia TV, or MMU TikTok Malaysia. So you can get all of the information there and watch it back whenever, anytime that you want.
And don't forget to follow us at MMU Malaysia and also at MMU Career Connect on Instagram.
And don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, okay?
MMU Malaysia TV. Yes.
So why are we here today?
So today we are going to discuss a very interesting matter actually today. So what is our topic actually today?
Okay, our topic today is not how do we get a job, or do we make a business?
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
For me, I personally think that we should get employed first. How about you, Dee?
I think that opinion, I will save it later. But first, we're gonna introduce our speaker today. So who's our speaker today, Ree?
Yeah, so our first speaker today, I introduce to all of you Mr. Mugi. So Mr. Mugi actually is from WEPS, WEPS, or World Education Placement Service, where they provide us with adequate and additional knowledge for us to better ourselves in skills. Okay, so welcome, Mr. Mugi.
Hello, Mr. Mugi.
Thank you, Ree. Thank you, Dee.
Yeah.
Nice
Hello.
meeting you guys. Nice being here.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
can you briefly talk a little bit about yourself and also your company?
Sure. Okay, so my name is Mugilan, but please call me Mugi. Okay, so basically, my company is called World Education Placement Services. I think Ree has already said it, WEPS. But what I do, I specialize in connecting learners to the jobs. Okay, so this is where I come from. I specialize in giving focused training because actually in Malaysia there is some gap where the students come out from the university, then the job available is there, but certain training is required so that they get employed. Now, this is what I have been doing for the past five years. I've placed thousands of students in different jobs. So, being in this landscape, I think I realized the importance of not only education but your commitment to learn. I mean, nowadays people think after they finish studying, employers want to come and hire you.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you need more knowledge to be in the...
yes, and I think the more important thing to say, knowledge can be acquired, skills can be acquired. It's the attitude, it's the behavior. I think that's the part where it has to come from inside.
So
Attitude, guys.
Yes.
So don't forget, you have to have a really good attitude.
Yes,
Okay.
attitude matters.
So our next speaker, he is very special to MMU. He's the Pemata Dunia for MMU. He's our alumni. So hello, Mr. Azaini.
Hi, welcome to
Thank
the
you very much.
podcast.
Thank you very much for having me here, Azaini here. So I'm glad to be here as an alumni and also as an ex-student here. It goes way back to the memories. Yeah, I'm coming from Malacca and also graduated here in Cyberjaya. So it's one achievement for me lah, one of my milestones. So actually, on my company side is that we actually offer one-stop solution from design to manufacturing. So we are experts. We are experts in the smart plantation, smart agriculture, and also smart manufacturing. So the funny thing about me is that I'm actually not an engineer, but I just love the technology. So I'm using what I love, using the technology to help the business on growing them. Yeah. So I'm not in the engineering certificates, but currently right now I'm running a business in engineering and also the technology. Thank you.
Okay, that's very interesting. There's like really different sides from both. So maybe from the question that we have later on, you will get a lot of insights from it. So our first question for today is, we want to discuss about jobs and business, right? So as a student, and also maybe the students out there, you are the fresh graduate. You have questions with you where you want to get a job or you want to straight away make a business.
Either you want to be employed or do you want to be your own boss?
Yes. So I'll start first. From my opinion, I think that I want to get a job first. I think I want to go to the safe path where I'm going to get a job first, get all of the experience from the people in the industry, because that's the real thing that is going to happen in my life. So after that, if I want to make business, then I'm going to get the real knowledge. So what do you think about that, Mr. Azaini?
So for me, on my career path, that I started as an executive, but I always have this thing in my heart that I want to start a business someday. But I agree with you, Dee. So that first of all, I think that in order for me to have a proper business setup or business line, that I need to learn, because my way of life is that I have to learn somewhere, you know. So I'm learning through my life, starting as a career as an executive. So in there, I started my position is on the business development. So that is my role there. So we do a lot of business proposals and also meeting up clients and everything. So the best thing about the business development is there is a bits of everything that we have to involve in HR, procurement, the procurement that the one we hate all the time because they don't know our job and we don't know their job. So there's a bing dong here and there, you know, and then for finance, and there's a lot of departments involved. Over there that I've walked through it, and then I started to learn here and there, and then after that, when I think it's the right time has come, I started my business.
So you were from other company for how many years?
Okay, I think I left my company on 2017. I think it's around 7 years I've gathered experience there until I realized that I need to move on. So I don't have a plan when to move on, but I know I want to move on someday. But that always that heart felt, you know, it's time. And then there is no timeline in this, but there's a
It's
little
based
sound.
on yourself.
There's a little sound in my head saying it's time already.
Faham? Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Azaini. So, tadi kita ada borak sikit dengan Mr. Mugi kan cakap. And I just found out that Mr. Mugi dulu belajar bawa pilot. Jadi pilot.
Jadi pilot.
So, and then suddenly you do a business. So, maybe you can explain a little bit there.
Okay, sure. So, like what Dee has said, the time after Form 5, I buat A-levels dekat HELP, right? While doing A-levels, I dapat offer to do piloting. That time, my dream was to be a pilot, right? So I went to Australia to do piloting for 2 years. But what I realized is the opportunity after graduating was not so good, because at that time, there was an oversupply of pilots. Too many pilots, not many airlines want to hire a full-time job. And had to divert, see what else I can do, right? So I come from a family where my dad has run some businesses before. Okay, so he runs some businesses. So I decided, let's go into business management. So I got into business management. Now, from my experience, right, just studying business and running business is two different completely.
We have to
From
review
here
that.
to there.
Completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different, right? And my experience, I tried lah when I was studying third year, fourth year. I pun try get together with a few friends. I had an open cafe, but I had open a cafe in Subang. Okay, so,
Ada lagi ke kafe tu? Ada lagi ke
Cafe
kafe
tu
tu?
still-
tak ada lagi.
Oh, tak ada lah.
So this is the lesson. This is the lesson. So lesson why? Simple thing pun at that time, no experience, you don't know, right? How to handle your money, how to manage your money, how to handle your stock. If you're running a cafe, you're running a restaurant, Kalau you want to be a business owner, the main important thing, for me there's no right or wrong. Whether after you graduate, whether you want to start a business or you want to work for someone else, there's no right or wrong. But there is some caveat to that. For example, now if you are going to go fresh into a business, tapi you have no experience of running a business, can you afford to lose money?
No.
So it depends. If you can afford, if you got
Then
funder,
go ahead.
investor, they can afford to lose it, you try, maybe you can succeed 50-50, or maybe less than that actually. But you need some guidance.
Yeah.
But from what my experience was, I started the business with no experience in any workplace, nothing. That's why so much of blindside, lost money. On the first day that we open a cafe, we have so many people but no food. So the management of the launch was bad. So simple thing like this, we can study in the during degree business you can put in your template, you can put in your form, but the reality is very different.
So it's very important to have knowledge, guys. If you want to start business, you have to have knowledge, then you can start. Tapi it goes back to your mindset. Apa yang you nak dalam hidup you.
Sebab I think Mr. Mugi give us a very great perspective lah. Sebab I heard some people say kan, macam kita kena try dulu. Kalau tak try tak tahu. We just need to just jump straight into it kan.
So boleh ke pakai?
Boleh ke pakai this
Okay.
logic?
So for example, right, depend on what kind of business you want to start, right? If you want to start a cafe, tapi you punya mindset, oh no, I cannot do the waiter job, I cannot
tak
do the
boleh
cleaning
lah.
job. If that is your mindset, that means you don't know what the role of the worker is, the waiter is. Next time when you hire someone, then how would you know whether they are doing a good job or a bad job? You don't have the parameter, you have no experience. So for me, I think, right, starting a business, if you have a mindset of, oh, I'm going to be the boss, I think that's a very bad mindset. The mindset should be, oh, I want to learn everything about the business. Then I feel a little bit more comfortable if you go into your own business lah. Yeah. But again, experience is very important.
Experience tu sangat penting. So to Mr. Azani, apa risk or benefits daripada taking a 9 to 5 hours job? Sebab you started as getting a job first, baru you buat business. So what's the risk and benefits?
Okay, before we go into that, I would like to add up on what Mugi said just now.
Boleh.
Actually, I very much agree on the opening up business. To me, opening up a business is easy. You know, you have ideas and everything. You can open it, but
betul.
to maintain a business is actually the hard part. You know, to make it legal, you have to have a SSM, also LHDN, the KWSP part. You have to understand all that before you go into the business. Because if you run a business without all those, then you get so much trouble lah. That happens to me actually. It's not that I just langgar everything. I know a bit of everything, but I did not have a proper setup
Guidance.
back then. So there's a lot of things, and then I have a lot of penalty that I have to pay.
Alamak, learn from your
Macam tu,
lesson.
This is a lesson that I've learned the hard way, you know. People do tell me, but sometimes when we run
You
a
take it
business,
lightly.
yes. At the first time I want to open a business is because that, of course, I want to work whenever I want. But actually I work 24 hours per day. So there's no enough time for me to looking at other things like legally, like LHDN, SSM and everything. So suddenly they all email and everything. So and then we started to realize that this thing is serious. That we have to do it on time. We cannot take it. I saw the letter and everything, but just put it aside first. Okay, I settle my business first and everything, right? So, but first thing first, that you have to master the system to open up business in Malaysia. Yeah.
Do you think there's a proper guidance for that?
There's of course a proper guidance you need to find actually.
Oh, kena cari
Yeah. Of course, if you opening up, there's an enterprise, Berhad. Enterprise is okay, but still you need audit for LHD and everything. But once you go Sdn Bhd, it's a different things. That this one, there's companies that will manage you. You have to find a good management for the company secretary. They call it a company secretary lah. They're supposed to manage your company. My previous experience, because that my previous company secretary is quite incompetent myself.
Okay.
They were supposed to advise me, but they're
Tak
taking me
even.
too lightly at that time. So there's a lot of things that go
Legal
all
exposure,
crumbles and yeah. So
It
that's
was
a
hard.
hard lesson for me. Now I'm in a better place. I have a good teams, and of course currently right now is we are working on the stability lah. So coming back to your question again, what
So
is the
my question is, what's the risk or benefits of being in a 9 to 5 hours job
compared to being
compared to make a business?
compared to?
Making business, but making business kan we know.
okay.
Macam you said just now, you work like 24 hours a day. So macam people yang work macam
9 to 5.
makan gaji lah kan.
Makan gaji
So
tu
9
macam
to
mana pula dia
5
punya
job
risk and
kind of
benefits?
Yes, just like I mentioned earlier. Okay, the main reason that actually I wanted to make a business is because at that times that frequently I have to drive my mother to go to the hospitals, and at that time maybe if I do a business, that's a little sound in me that started to speak. That if I start the business, that I can drive around my mother frequently, but that never happened.
It's not
But I
the
can still
reality.
drive her, but my head is rushing with a lot of things. I need to settle things. I need to settle there, you know. But that is one thing. So until now, even right now, my mind is working 24/7. 24/7 is because even though I have a stability in time coming back, it's 9 to 5 right now. But my mind is still thinking of the strategy on to go to the next level on how to open up next thing, opportunities and how to plan further and everything. So yeah, if working on the 9 to 5, the stress is only to 9 to 5. But to me right now as a business owner, that I have just always a reminder to me that I have to get the opportunity, I have to get the projects and everything in order for them to get salary, feed their families and everything. So I have a lot of responsibilities. Yeah, it's not even for my family, also for my staff as well.
So your perspective is an overview. You have to take care of each one of the department.
Yeah, this is the thing that sometimes they don't see, because they see boss, it's easy, senang, goyang kaki. So it's not that easy actually. In Muslim, that is like, if I don't do it right, it's a
Berdosa yang besar.
because that's my responsibility. I have a 13 staff right now. So that my responsibility is for them to get salaries and for them to feed their families and everything.
Everything fairly lah.
Yeah.
So how many employees do you have under you?
Currently right now we have 9 physically, and then three as a consultant, and also our senior guidance, because I can consider myself quite young, below 40s, but I can still see I need guidance from the seniors, you know, because my project is mostly involved with kementerian, also the ministries, agencies. So sometimes when they see people like me, they are expecting something a lot of seniors, you know. When they see a senior, then they can go gung ho a little bit lah. So that's the strategies lah.
So right now there's so many debate about macam kita borak tadi lah, there's so many debates about working from home is more flexible, you can do whatever you want, you can get your job on time, macam boleh kerja like at this time and then at this time. So do you think
maintain the same what we call that?
work-life balance?
Life balance,
Sekarang kan youngster
Right.
kan macam nak work-life balance is very important.
Right.
So do you think working from home is still relevant?
Okay, so I believe working from home is only for specific roles, right? Not for all kind of jobs. I think majority has to be a mix, especially if you are working in a multinational company, you're working in a big company. So you have IT guys, okay? But if you say IT guys work from home, now someone sitting in the office, something wrong with his cable, who you gonna call? The IT guy working from home. You need the guy to be there, right? But now, if you're talking about a programmer, a software coder, in software engineering, right?
Yes.
Now, whether you sit in the office or whether you sit at home, you give him an output, what you want to achieve. You want the development to be at this stage, at this day. If you can achieve it at home, in fact, development, I can argue, is better to be doing at home alone because you can focus, right? So certain roles, I would believe working from home is good, and I don't think so. The whole general thing that everyone can work from home is a good thing, because I believe, again, people can take advantage in both ways. Your boss can take advantage of you, knowing that you're always at home.
Pukul 12 tengah malam pun boleh call kan.
But it also can be a disadvantage for the boss. It's like, hey, the guy log in, is he doing his work tak? You don't know, right? But again, end of the day, why I place importance in this, whether you were asking earlier to Encik Aizani, 9 to 5, right? Whether 9 to 5, what is the risk from 9 to 5? But for me, I were to answer, if you look at a job, it's only 9 to 5, that means your mindset going to it is already driven on what is your output, that how much time you spend on that day. That's all. That means 9 to 5 means 8 hours, that is all your output is. But if your output is driven by goals, right?
Tak kisahlah berapa
Tak
hours.
kisah. And this is how you make yourself relevant to the company. Because people like him, people like me, when we sit on top, sometimes lah, right? We try to bucket the people and say, oh, how do we get the best output? So we make them sit 9 to 5. But if what I can expect to be achieved in 9 to 5 can be achieved in 3 hours, because you are smart or you have found a way to be innovative, I'll be very relaxed with you. You know what you're doing. So that is the point here, is whether you're driving an output that's going to help the company grow and make more revenue or make more profits lah. At the end of the day, this is capitalism.
So always
lah,
go
right?
back to the employee, how you want to make it work, kan?
Yes, don't look at it as just a role. Look at it as how am I going to create value for the company. How am I going to create value for the company, and how the company going to notice me? I mean, this is what I would tell. Don't expect to do a basic job and then, why I tak dapat promotion lah? Sudah 1 year lah. Why my gaji
doesn't naik pangkat lah.
Because you're not contributing to extra business to the company. Then why the company say, oh, my business still the same, but now I must spend more for you? Doesn't make sense. You have to make it make sense for them. Yeah.
Sekarang I nampak dalam TikTok kan, ada setengah fresh graduate, diorang cakap macam ni. Oh, kalau setengah fresh graduate, setengah yang senior akan cakap, oh, you as a fresh graduate, you kena OT, you kena kerja lebih-lebih. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Who says this? The employer?
Orang employer daripada senior lah. Senior akan bagi tahu cerita-cerita kan. Lepas tu diorang kata, oh, yang senior bukan senior executive, orang yang dah lama kerja, diorang kata, oh, sebagai yang fresh graduate baru masuk kerja, kenapa nak kerja sampai 9 to 5 je? Patutnya kena lebih sikit sebab you don't have experience.
You don't have responsibility pun.
I think it goes back to what I said tadi kan, right? If you look at it, because the fear is, if you look at it macam 9 to 5 job, that means you cannot wait to go back home, right? At the end of the day, you cannot wait, and then you nak buang masa. If one simple email you take 1 hour to write, make yourself look busy. I'm saying people can do this, right? People can do this, right?
Even I can do it.
So when the seniors come and see the juniors come and have an easy life, they think, last time too, for me to get into this position, I have to do so many things. So this is what they expect you to do, but they are giving you good advice. They're saying, if you invest time in it and understand your process, and you become the master of your area, then the company has to look at you and promote you because you are being the best at what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
But if you're just scraping across past 40%, 50% kind of, what's the point lah, right?
You're gonna baby steps lah kan.
So I mean, the simple thing that I can say is, business too is not a machine tau. The business is an organic thing that is constantly moving. If you come in and you make the business harder to make money, you think that you're going to get rewarded? No. If you add value, obviously the business need to add value too. But there is a risk. I think we can come back to that. The risk of that is sometimes recognitions are not given. Sometimes it's not based on your merit. So this is a risk that is there in many organizations, and we have to be aware of it. And this comes with experience lah, right? Sometimes ada favoritism, this and that. It happens. It's a real life workplace. It happens.
It's real.
It's real. Some places, that's why joining which organization is very important. You need to know what is the organization culture, what is the way, what is the kind, right? But I know what I'm doing. Then maybe you take a different route, but never end things badly. This is my experience, and this is my honest advice. Even if you have a fight with your boss, never end things badly. Be professional. It's always about being professional, because you never know, one day you might come back in a different angle and work with this person again. So always be professional. Professional and personal should be separate. Yeah.
So I have a question for Mr. Azaini. So if you see, taking a perspective of a boss, again, because you are a boss of Flow Studio, So what do you think is the earning potential? What I mean by this is like, if you are a fresh graduate entering a job, how would you compare it in terms of their salary that they get compared to when they open their own business?
Oh, okay. So in Flow Studios actually, of course, we hire from the fresh graduate through experience. Yeah. So if they want to compare that what they get as a fresh graduate, and also they want to compare from running a business, make sure that if the business that they're running is full with documents, legal documents and everything, then they can compare. If they want to compare like I earn 2,000 per month and then I get return 2,000 per month, but they have to know what are their costs, like who pays their utilities, and after they slash and all that, how much usually they get paid. You see what I'm saying? So it cannot be compared in between opening up a business and also opening up finding a job starting as a fresh graduate, because it's a two different thing in my opinions. Yeah. But and then if they want to start a business first, and then they can realize they can make 2,000 per month, they should have at least around 20 to 30,000 profit per month in order for him or her to get 2,000 per month that time. So I think it's two different things.
When we talk about salary, right? So previously I read on social media like Twitter, Instagram and LinkedIn, etc. There is like this movement of people say that fresh graduates should ask for the appropriate salary amount that they should ask when in interview. Like people did say like, oh, a fresh graduate should ask for 4K because that is like what we call it,
The standard.
that is standard lah.
Is it appropriate?
Okay, so this is a very tricky question because you say 4K, industry say something else. So where you get the 4K is because of movement from students,
Yeah.
right? So, but I also understand. See, end of the day, right? Look at other countries. I don't want to say some names, but other countries, their fresh graduate salary is higher.
Yes.
But it's not because our people are less smart or less intelligent. The end of the day is the landscape. It's the landscape. It's a business landscape.
Yeah.
Government set some policies. Businesses might use these policies. If you set the minimum wage at 1,500 ringgit, you set the minimum wage at 1,500 ringgit. If I offer a fresh graduate with no experience, no certification, only a graduate university degree, how long I must train you into my business before you start adding productivity into my business?
Gonna take 1 year.
Gonna take some time,
Yeah.
right?
Time to
It's gonna take some time. So am I willing to put 4,000 ringgit? So 4,000 ringgit, you have to just remember 4,000 ringgit if I pay to a staff, there is EPF that I have to top up on top of that. There's SOCSO that I have to top up on top of that. At the same time, when I give you a contract for 1 year, I have to budget for the entire year. That's 50,000 plus that I'm already spending for you. Now that 50,000 plus that I spend for you all, if I can invest it into a system to make your job better, should I do that? It's also a question, right?
I see.
So it's not about asking for higher wage. I think people talk about higher wage. It's about creating an ecosystem, right? At the end of the day, fresh graduates must come at a decent pay. I also agree coming in at 1,500, 1,600 after earning a degree doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I also agree that, right? But again, asking for 4K, for 4.5K, I know a lot of American companies also not offering that now at the point, because they see our current market, and our market here, a lot of them are underemployed, meaning a lot of students who got graduate degree, going back to what he said, whether you want to run a business or whether you want to start everything, how are you going to make money first, right?
Yeah.
If you do a Grab driver job, you can earn 5-6K.
Per month, right?
Yeah, if you do it, if you become a Grab driver job, you can do about 5 to 6K a month, right? Now, is that your focus to make that money? If sometimes some people really need that money, go ahead.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that as a long-term plan, does Grab driver add your skill? Does it give you anything on your resume? Does it give you certifications, experience? Driving, yes. You can also drive it on your own, right? but how much compounding that you can do it. So maybe immediately you get 5K, but you're stagnant. Your growth might be stagnant.
Just be like this.
If you go into a company, let's say you start at 3K or 3.5K, you put in your heart and soul into it, be passionate, and you grow into it and you become masters in it. In Malaysia now, a lot of new skills coming in. As you all heard, the day Amazon has pledged 25.5 billion ringgit to invest into our infrastructure. So our Malaysian students now, many of them don't have cloud skill. So it is important to pick up this cloud skill. I know a lot of company now, they have 300 to 400 positions, then they need fresh graduate. They're willing to pay 3.5K onwards.
Because you have that skill.
Because if you have the skill. But for example, you don't even need the skill now. We provide the program for free for the students. The AWS Restart program, we provide it for free for the students. The reason why you do that is, I told you, is the attitude. Are you willing to learn? The program is a 3-month program. Boleh tak you commit for 3 months? I go through this. But then you get a job. So this is what the general landscape is lah. Not about just asking for 4K. If you ask for 4K, yes, maybe business can pay you now, but eventually the business die, you also don't win. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really good input. So right now we're gonna take a break a little bit. We want to talk about our orientation program. So as an alumni, what's your experience masa mula-mula dulu masa journey mula-mula masuk? Macam mana experience orientation tu bila masuk?
Okay, I think Mugi mentioned earlier just now about the life as a full for student in Malaysia. At what age, right? So like every other usuals, I go the standard path after the SPM, and then I took diploma.
Orientation tu best tak?
And then I don't know anything about it. So, I have to go orientation. So it's the things that I just follow their rules lah, kan? So yeah, it's a good thing to have orientation because they show you everything about the classes, they show you about the facilities and everything. It's the only choice that if you want to make, that how about the orientation will go and everything. So to me, go for the orientation, it will be enjoyable.
So sekarang ni in MMU we have this a really special program. It's called WIN program. It's a week of immersion and networking. It's like a freshest welcoming. So in this WIN program, we have like what you said lah, kita akan belajar what's the system in MMU and like examination unit. If you get barred, what you have to do. Kalau you have financial problem, what you have to do. We also in Career Connect also will come down to the week of immersion and networking program ni untuk explain what we have, what we offer in Career Connect. So this Saturday is the first day for the Freshies Day, Freshies Welcoming Day. So I'm excited to see all of the Freshies to be in the WIN program to connect with all of the students there, and then with the lecturers and also all of the people in the management.
So if you're freshie watching this podcast, don't miss your win.
It's on 10 March
10
till
March.
15 March. Don't forget to join for every single day, because every single day there will be activities. They also have WIN night. Do you have experience in WIN night? Because my WIN is online. Mine is during PKP.
My WIN is also online. I just watched the recording of a previous WIN. So
Some of us slept
I
during
think
the
you guys are
WIN
blessed
program.
to have this kind of WIN program that so havoc lah.
Yes. So Freshies, don't forget to come to your WIN program and collect everything that you need. Pay your enrollment fee, your hostel fees, everything. Okay? So back to our
episode.
To our episode. So here with us right here is Mr. Dina.
Yes.
Mr. Dina. So hello, Mr. Dina. Welcome to Career Podcast. Well, all your careers matter. So basically, can you brief a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you first of all for having me and my team. Actually, we are looking at a bigger group to actually entertain all of you guys. But anyway, so my name is Dina Karan Krishnan, and I actually am now with Telecom Malaysia Digital Innovation, Sdn Bhd. Our go-to-market name is actually Credence. It's actually an organization which was just set up, where it's actually focused into digital, upskilling, digital, cloud, technology and all that. So as what my CEO will always say, we are born in the cloud. Okay. Now, interestingly, where Credence has envisaged, I think this is also in relation to how all the technology company, primarily the telco companies who are moving towards digital. So I think it's a very bold and interesting and very good journey that TM has actually undertaken, and we are moving into that direction. As you have seen, TM has restructured its whole organization and very focused. I think helmed by Dato Imri and the board, which I think the driving to drive towards excellence, right? I think we are heading in the right way.
So, Mr.
Dina.
Mr. Dina.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Mr. Dina, I heard that there is a multiple opening at Credence,
Betul.
isn't it?
Betul.
So, we'd like to talk about it.
All right. So going back to resonate, what I think the two gentlemen would have spoken. I think one is why I wanted to bring back to the before I talk about the vacancy, because that's jumping straight to the pool.
Yeah.
But let me explain a little bit more. So this is for all the students out there, and the outreach actually is because I want to come to MMU first, and then of course for the rest of other universities. Now what we have is that going back to what the two gentlemen mentioned, whether employed or be an entrepreneur. To be an entrepreneur, yes, you can, but being employed first, because you need to understand, get the tools, get the knowledge, understand the industry, because the world we live in and what our parents used to be is entirely different. The dynamics are too big, all right, and let alone in the space of technology, all right. Now going back where we are coming from, so for example, now Credence, we are now going into a very exciting period. We are looking to hire almost about 150 to 200 fresh graduates, plus some component of some senior hires as well. Now, this is where I want to urge all those from MMU.
Yes, especially the final year students.
Final year students who are going to finish, this is a huge opportunity for you to actually come and join Credence. I'll share a little bit of where we are heading at. It's all into digital space. Now, interestingly, you'll think, what are those roles? Of course, we will talk more when we have time. But the areas that we're looking at, even in HR, example, we have created HR product and solution, meaning it's very much digital. In the sense that, what you may say like HR, you may think like, apa yang ada kat HR ni?
Bagi kerja.
Buat baja, tak ada. So there's a lot of science to it. So there's some system that we are implementing now. Example, the system ties back to multiple other business units, all right, where we will draw that data and we need to analyze those data, and that data will give us academic knowledge, as in what decisions need to be made for the organisation. So prior to this, kalau orang fikir pasal HR je, dia cakap, HR ni apa dia? Oh, ini dia datang ke leave management. Itu ada, memang ada. Not to condescend that role, it's a very difficult role also. But now with automation and all that, that's already working out. So that's business as usual. That's one unit. And where I'm coming from Credence, we have something which is on HR product and solution, which is going to grow very big. As of immediately, I can tell you, we are looking at almost 20 to 30 fresh graduates to hire. And then my other colleague who's right outside, they are looking at ServiceNow as a huge practice. And we are willing to even go up to 100 people as fresh graduates to hire over stages, right? So that's where we're at.
I see.
Yeah.
So, I think as a MMB student myself, I'm very...
Boleh apply sekarang.
boleh apply.
Lepas ni hantar je.
Okay.
Terus isi
Isi je borang, habis.
So if I can, you guys can too.
Yes.
MMUPs out there, do apply for the Credence
Correct.
vacancy.
Correct.
Okay. So we already talk. Okay. So we coming back to our podcast.
Our series.
Topic lah kan. So we already talk about the risk and benefit and what differentiate becoming an entrepreneur and also getting a job. So I think we should proceed to another aspect of the question, which is what the qualities and the key skills that a fresh graduate that opt to become a entrepreneur should have. Macam what the qualities that they should have lah to success as a
Maybe Mr.
entrepreneur.
Azani can answer that.
Well, I think in terms of me, always when I have a 9 staff over me right now, 13 overall. So in every staff that I've selected, handpicked, is all that 2 things that I have to values that needed from them. The 2 things are this: first is their attitude, and then the second thing is that they are being proactive. Because I resemble this. This is myself. You know, you have to get the attitude in order to add values. I agree very much with what Mr. Gupi mentioned earlier about the staff attitudes and everything. I like how we are think like, but he translated it a lot better lah. But and then the proactive part is because if you just want, our mindset is is working to 9 to 5. So the mindset stays there. 9 to 5. After that,
Stop,
after
habis.
and then after we add, if we do add values, we don't consider 9 to 5 is the only time that we work. It's not wrong. There's no right or wrong, but people will see, and then it will somehow translate in your work. Yeah, and then this somehow it applies if you want to become entrepreneur. There is no 9 to 5 after you want to become entrepreneur. There's a lot of different things that you need to consider, and also you have to wait. So to me, these two things that requires that the attitude moving forward, and also the being a proactive person.
I see.
What do you think, Mr.
Mugi?
Yeah, so going back to what skill, right? I think whether you want to be an entrepreneur or join into a business or join into a company, you have to look at the trend, right? Now, what is the trend in Malaysia? Like I said, Amazon has decided to invest 25 billion ringgit in Malaysia, which means what? They need cloud people. So if you don't have cloud skills, this is the current cloud skills. Get yourself familiar with cloud, AWS cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud, but number one in the world is AWS, and Amazon has invested so much into Malaysia. All the jobs are going to be created around this. So be proactive. You know what's going to happen in 1 to 2 years. Get yourself skilled into AWS cloud. It makes sense. Now another thing that's coming, like what Mr. Dina had said earlier, ServiceNow. ServiceNow is also another platform, but a lot of people in the universities have not heard of this name, ServiceNow. They have not even heard of a lot of names like maybe Oracle or SAP. All these names are foreign, but this is what you all need to start looking at. Because why? Companies use systems. Everywhere in the world now, companies use platform, system, everything for HR, for procurement, for accounts, for finance, everything they use system, right? Now the system can sit in a physical server or cloud, but now everything is going cloud. That's why I say cloud is now very important. So apply for the job like what Mr. Dina has said earlier on Credence. And if you want to know more about cloud and the AWS Restart program, you can come on to www.webs.com.my. WEPS.
www.webs.com.my. So don't forget to register there to get all of the skills that Mr.
Mugi.
Mr.
Yes.
Mugi mentioned.
Share with
So
us
sorry,
just
Yes.
now.
Mr. Mugi mentioned, because right now cloud, it's very important.
Very
Even
important.
me myself, I am still trying to get more knowledge about cloud.
So
So
also
I
the system said
Yes.
said by Mr. Mugi just now.
So we talk about attitude, right? So is it important for us to have the networking and communication skills as a fresh graduate before going to before entering the working
workforce.
life?
I think it is never going to stop when it is good to have a network and communication skills. However, I want to also qualify my statement. Some people are born introvert, right? Some people are born extrovert. Some people are easier to communicate with other people. Some people, they take a lot of effort. To say something simple, they think a lot.
Yes.
Now, I mean, it's the truth, right? Yeah.
Can you read that kind of fresh?
So, usually, right, it depends if you are going in a role where it is something to do with subject matter or technical and you're not so extrovert, you can still pass by lah, right?
Still survive lah.
You can still survive, but I still recommend you to take training on how to be a leader, how to present, how to communicate confidently. You still need to upskill yourself, right? Eventually, one day when you become a boss, you need to communicate with your underlings. You need to communicate with your board. You need to tell them, no, I need to protect my staff because they are doing the right thing. You must be able to fight back. This is something you need to train along the way. But it doesn't mean that if you're an introvert means you have no hope lah. No, there's a lot of people at a certain age. I think at one point when I was young, I was also very introverted. Now you can see I'm talking too much, right? Yeah. So this is how it is.
Experience teaches
Experience
you.
teaches you this. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question also for Mr. Mugi. So I think this question will relate to you because you switch your careers a few times, right?
Right.
So what advice will you give to a fresh graduate who is trying to switch from a traditional 9 to 5 works into becoming an entrepreneur and also vice versa?
And vice versa.
Maksudnya
How does the switch?
right.
macam people trying to switch from becoming employed to become an entrepreneur and also
Yeah, but can, I mean, that can be done. But if you're talking about in terms of 9 to 5 means, then time shouldn't be the factor here lah. Time shouldn't be the factor. If you are working in as an entrepreneur and then you want to go into a 9 to 5 job, I think you will realize things are much easier. Okay, because a lot of statutory, a lot of legal requirement, a lot of
You don't
headache.
have to think about
Yeah, it's done by processes, systems, and the management.
Yeah.
Right now, if you want to go from a job into a work life environment, into a entrepreneurship environment, what you will have to realize is you have to lose that stability that you had. You cannot plan, oh, okay, balik rumah 5:30, I'm going to watch a movie, take my girlfriend or boyfriend out for dinner. Cannot plan like that. It's like you must be at all times ready to fight problems. So I think that is the difference. And once you do the first initial change, as I believe anything you continuously do for 45 days, you'll become better and better at it. At least 45 days doing something over and over and over again.
And you get used to
you
it.
train your mind, you rewire your neurons. So in a way it helps you get a little bit more, but it's again practice, attitude, commitment, all the old things that all the old people say lah.
So the consistency lah.
Yes.
Okay, so I think this is my last question because we already, talked a lot, and then the time is very limited. So, how both of you stay motivated and focused when facing challenges and also setbacks in your 9 to 5 hours job and also your business and as an entrepreneur?
Well, to me, it's responsibilities that I have committed to my families, to my staff, and for me, on moving forward, there's always a way out. There's always, if you can break the boulder, you can go right by it. If you can go right by it, you can just jump into it. So to me, there's always a solution. There's always a way out for everything. We will always find a way out in everything. So keep the team together and find a solution on how to work together. So that is for me on moving forward, and how that I maintain that championship mentality is that you have to know what weights that are you carrying. The responsibility is for my families and also my staff. That this is the thing that I cannot give up. If I give up, then of course there's a lot of things that will scrambles all over.
How about Mr. Mugi? What is your opinion on this?
So I would say what keeps me motivated. Number one, everyone says you have to love your job, right? There will be many aspects of your job that you don't like, that you don't love, but you need to find one reason why you're doing what you're doing. For me, as I said, I connect students and get them jobs. So I'm very passionate about that because I really want to see the next generation of Malaysians fulfill the job that is here. And I don't want our companies here to go and keep hiring from overseas. Then what's going to happen to our Malaysians, right? So I'm really passionate about that, and I really want our Malaysians also, because I believe our Malaysians are actually very smart.
Yes.
Very, very smart.
Very smart.
We
Very
are
creative.
Very creative. Internationally, if we compare, also we have achieved a lot of things in different things. But how do we
Guide
translate that into professionalism? Right.
Yeah.
This is where I'm passionate about it. So the problem is not solved. So until the problem is solved, I'll still be passionate about it lah. Yeah, that's why. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much to Mr. Azaini and Mr. Mugi for the amazing advices, and also you shared a lot of experience that you have. I think this is very inspiring for the fresh graduates and also final year students. So we have something special for our final year students and also generally MMU students. So we have
We already talked about getting into a business or executing into a job.
Yes.
So
this
what
is
should they do?
Career Connect website where you can register here using your. I would advise you to use your personal Gmail account to register to this Career Connect website. So this website will help you to get your internship program, to get hired by companies. There's a lot of companies list will be in the website. So you have to register, add your photos, complete your profiles, your CV, your resume, everything. Just put inside there. Make sure it's complete and also the right format. And then your everything. Just put your address so that the company will be easy to reach out to you. So and then your CV manager. upload everything. Very important for you to upload your resume and your cover letter. So the notification will be in your profile, where when the company wants to hire you, it will pop out in your notifications. So here is the latest job vacancies that will be in the website. It's very latest, so don't forget to check out this website. It's from MMU. Don't worry about the safety. It's everything there. It's certified.
Not a scam.
It's not a scam,
Not
so
a
don't
scam,
worry.
guys.
And yeah, you can check it out, and it's everything there. Your internship program, you want to get hired, jobs, companies. So yeah, don't forget to follow on careerconnect.mmu.edu.my and also Instagram MMU_connect career.
Okay, so I guess that will be the end of our podcast series for this
Yes.
episode, right, Dee?
Great.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very,
Thank you so much. Thank you so
it's
much.
very
Yes.
beneficial. Even to us, I learn a lot from both of you guys. So you guys have given so many advices. I think this is probably my favorite episode, even though this is the second
Yes.
episode.
Oh, wow.
Actually.
I've gained a lot of things, and personally, I have so many questions. But yeah, we only have 1 hour, so thank you so
30
much to Mr. Azaini as the alumni. Thank you so much being here.
Thank you
Giving back to the MMU,
Yes,
right?
contribute back to the community.
And then also thank you so much to Mr. Mugilan
Thank you,
for being
Ridi,
here.
Ri and Dee.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, pleasure
Okay.
being here. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
pleasure meeting you too.
Yes. So thank you so much to all of the students for being with us here in MMU YouTube and also TikTok. So don't forget to catch out the next episode on what, Ri?
Catch up our next episode. Should we choose job based on qualification or passion on 12th April 2023?
Yes. Log your date and don't forget to catch up with us. So bye. I'm Ri. I'm Dee.
And
Kita selalu
I'm Lee. And
Yeah.
this is Career Matter Podcast, where all
All
your
your
careers
careers
matter.
matter.
Bye.
Bye.